Good morning, students. I hope you all are fine and studying sincerely at home. So today we will do revision of chapter 1, categories of computer and computer languages. So here we will revise all the topics of chapter 1 today. Introduction, types of computers. Under types of computers, we will learn four types of computers: microcomputers, mini computers, mainframe computers, and supercomputers. Next, we have mobile computers. Mobile computers are another type of computers, and under this, we will learn laptops, tablets, smartphones, game console, and embedded computers. Next, we have programming languages. Under programming languages, we will learn four generations of programming languages: first generation, second generation, third generation, and fourth generation. Under language processors, we will learn three types of processors: assembler, interpreter, and compiler. So let's start with the introduction. Computers are categorized into various types depending upon their use, size. Computing capabilities means their speed, accuracy, and storage. Shapes and speed. All these terms are important to categorize or differentiate between different computers. Next, we have types of computers. Under types of computers, in this diagram, you can see there are four types: microcomputer, mini computer, mainframe, and supercomputer. But one more we have, that is mobile computers. Next is microcomputers. Microcomputers are smaller computers. They run on microprocessors in their CPUs. For example, desktop computer. Desktop computers are known as personal computers and they are used in homes, offices, schools, etc. Next, we have mini computers. Mini computers are less powerful. They have multiprocessing machines. As you can see in the image, they are larger in size. They are about the size of a refrigerator and they are used in big organizations and universities. For example, Microvex 3100, etc. Next, we have mainframe computers. Mainframe computers are powerful. They are used by large organizations and armed forces to perform large tasks. Let's take an example of bank handling. Banks use mainframe computers to handle thousands of customer requests. So example of mainframes are IBM Z series, etc. Next, we have supercomputers. Supercomputers are also powerful. They are used by scientific organizations to perform huge amount of data. They are used for complex data, means difficult or tough data. They need high speed to perform and process the data. Examples of supercomputers are Cray 1 and Cray 2. Let's talk about another types of computers, that are mobile computers. In this image, you can see different types of mobile computers, that are tablets, laptops, mobile phones, palm top, PDA, notebook, PCs, etc. The first type is laptops. Laptops are thin and lightweight. They are known as notebooks or netbooks. They can be carried anywhere and anytime. Some have touch screens and some do not have. They have 13 to 15-inch screens. They operate on rechargeable batteries, and some of the examples of laptops are HP, Dell, Apple, etc. Next, we have tablet PC or tabs. Using these, you can write or draw on a screen using fingers. Fingers act as a mouse. No keyboard is attached. It has a virtual keyboard to type words, letters, etc. It has most of the features of laptops. They are portable and can be carried anywhere and anytime. They have 7 to 10-inch screens. Some of the examples of tablets are Acer, Apple, Amazon, etc. Next, we have smartphones. This is another example of mobile computers. They are used to send or receive messages. They use web browser to access the internet. They have built-in camera and music player. They have many features of computers. They use messaging app, that is the most common, that is WhatsApp app. They have touch screens and they have virtual keyboards like tabs. Examples of smartphones are Samsung, Apple, Oppo, Vivo, etc. Next type we have game console. Game console are interactive computers. They are used for entertainment. They display video games when connected to TV or computer. They consist of a handheld or remote controller to control characters in the game. For example, Microsoft Xbox 360, Sony PlayStation 4, etc. Next, we have embedded computers. Embedded computers are inserted inside electronic appliances or devices to perform and control specific tasks. These computers have computer chips on which programming is done for a particular electronic device to function. Let's take an example of washing machine. Computer chips are programmed to wash clothes and are inserted inside the washing machine so that the washing machine helps to wash clothes. Next, we have programming languages. These are formal languages and they are designed to give instructions to the computer. Under these, we have four types of generations of programming languages, and they are first generation, second generation, third generation, and fourth generation. Let's talk about the first generation. Under first generation, it uses binary code, means strings of zeros and ones are used to give instructions to the computer. And this language is known as machine language or low level language. Next, we have second generation. Under this, these programming languages use very short words for commands to give instructions to the computer, and these commands are called mnemonic codes. Next, we have assembly language under this generation. What is assembly language? It is machine dependent, means in this language the program written for one computer may not run for the other computer. Next, we have third generation. Under third generation, these languages are referred to as high-level languages. In this, a program written for one computer may run for another computer also. And some of the examples of the third generations are Fortran, Pascal, C, and Basic. Now let's talk about fourth generation. Under fourth generation, it is the advanced generation than the traditional high level programming languages because they use short English phrases as commands to give instructions to the computer. These are called high level languages. The programmers focuses on the difficulty of the program rather than the difficulty of the programming languages. And some of the examples are SQL, that stands for structured query languages, means it deals with databases, then Visual Basic and Java. Next, we have language processors. These are software programs that translates the programming languages to a machine language. Different programming languages require different language processors. Different types of language processors are assembler, interpreter, and compiler. Let's talk about assembler. It translates a program written in assembly language into a machine language. A program written in assembly language is called source program or source code. The program converted to machine language by the assembler is called object program or object code. Next, we have interpreter. Interpreter translates a program from high-level language into a machine language. While translating, it checks for errors line by line. If it finds any error, then it stops there, and if it does not find the errors, then it checks the source code again and executes the source code or the program. This is how it works. Next, we have compiler. Compiler translates the entire program written in high-level language into a machine language. Then, if it finds errors, then errors are consolidated and reported in one file. Consolidated and reported means they are grouped together into one and they are reported in one file. All errors are collected into a single file so that you can easily access them. After removing errors, it recompiles the program again and executes it. I hope all the topics are clear to you all. So please go through the PPT once again and revise all the topics. Read the chapter carefully and be ready for the MCQ test. Thank you. Stay safe and stay healthy.